I'm about to sit down with the founders of
Sabani?
Mining Grid, a Middle East-based company aiming to make Bitcoin mining more accessible, transparent, and community-driven. Founded in 2023 and registered in Dubai, Mining Grid offers premium mining services from hardware and verified hosting to software tools and a self-custodial wallet, all designed for both newcomers and experienced miners. Let's dive into their journey, their vision, and where they see the future of Bitcoin mining headed. All right, gentlemen, could I ask you to introduce yourselves and maybe tell us your very brief origin story, how you came into the industry?
So I'm Sulaiman Al-Rifai, founder of Mining Grid. We are a UAE-based company. Our offices are in Dubai. And this is my colleague, Rami.
Rami Saridi, I'm founder and CEO of Mining Grid.
All right. So, Rami, let's start with your journey. Like, what originally inspired you to launch Mining Grid, and how has that vision evolved over the years?
The story goes 7, 8 years ago, when we started a lot of companies in Web3. So we have always the ambition to bring people to Web3, and we did multiple startups. Then we thought how we can simplify and put everything together, to the market. And we picked Bitcoin because we think it's the origin of with blockchain and Web3. And we look at mining because really it's exciting and it's the core of the Bitcoin network. So we put everything together, and we had a vision, to offer this to people, to simplify it to people, and empower the communities to participate in Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining.
Got it. And Sulaiman, from your perspective, as a founder and board member, what problem did you see in the mining space that made you believe Mining Grid needed to exist?
So basically, to do mining is not easy. If you look at it from, from a holistic point of view, you need to have the experience of knowing, which machines you need to acquire. You need to have a hosting location. You need to know, how to integrate these machines into a pool and then into your wallet or your phone or in any other, let's say, system, where you can acquire your Bitcoin. So what we did is to simplify this journey and this process by providing a very easy to use tool, which is a mobile app, to give access to Bitcoin mining, and now you can get it done within 5 minutes time.
All right. So for people new to the brand, let's dive into a little bit. So like, what is the core solution that Mining Grid provides to its clients and partners?
So we give a software solution, first of all. And behind the scenes, we have all the other integrated points where we do all the heavy lifting for any user looking to mine Bitcoin. And we do it basically in the best way possible using, let's say, world-class systems and providers, and bringing them all into one platform, which is our Mining Race app.
Okay, so let's dive into Mining Race. What exactly is that?
So Mining Race is made for all kind of retail investors, from small ones to the complex one to the one who want to really put capex on that. So Mining Race is non-custodial wallet, which anyone can download in seconds, create non-custodial wallet, then he can select a mining package. So we do hardware mining, and we do also mining rental, and we do very small packages, which start, let's say, 1 terahash rental, and it goes to 100 terahash rental. So we diversify, the portfolio of products which we have, to cover all needs of the market, and that's gives directly the reward distribution gets directly to people, to non-custodial wallets. So we created a mining layer, which does the distribution between the pools and between the people. And we also implemented an incentive distribution system. This incentive also encourage people, to get more contributor to the network, more user to the network, and earning certain hash rate and certain Bitcoin reward as incentive to expand the community.
Is there an element of gamification in the system at all?
In Mining Race, if you see our stand and participation in the event, we try to make it friendly for people. We try to make the gamification, as a theme inside the app and the journey for the people. Inside the mining as a business model, we don't have gamification, but we use that, to simplify and attract people to get into Bitcoin, because it's not a complex, it's not industrial product. We try to make it, as a retail simple product for people to access it in an easy and simple way.
So would you say that your target users are retail?
Yes.
And could you go into the level of traction that you've seen thus far?
So basically, if you look at the number of users we have today, over 100,000 users coming from 170 plus countries. So the way we did it is by doing different road shows in many different cities across the world, and introducing people to our software and our solutions to show them that it's very simple to do Bitcoin mining today. And we've achieved today to bring in new users into the Bitcoin network. And by this, we are expanding, the security of the Bitcoin network by bringing more users and by making, let's say, a bigger distribution of this network.
I see. And as for the mining itself, where is that happening?
So we have picked multiple mining locations. So we work with the hosted mining providers globally, but we have a concentration between USA and Russia and some countries in Africa, where they are mining friendly and they have enough regulation to secure our assets.
I see.
Yeah.
And how about in the Middle East region? Is there any mining happening there, or do you see any plans for that in the future?
There might be plans for the future, but as of now, we don't have any, let's say, thing coming up as mining grid. But we've seen other companies starting this, and maybe, hopefully in the future, we can get also access to that.
Okay. So you've mentioned plans for global expansion. Like, what markets are you most excited about?
So today, 70% of our users coming from Europe. And now we're looking at expanding, exposure in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And so, we're trying to also customize different products to fit basically the different markets.
Could you take us through the user journey? So, let's say someone wants to get involved. Like, how do they get started? What are the steps you need to take?
Yeah, so for us, we simplify. So we download the non-custodial wallet. It's a simple setup for anyone who wants to hold crypto. And then after that, he can select a package where he wants to mine, and we have like 4 or 5 variation. It depends on the power he wants to connect, to his account. And then he can select out one of 3 products, which is the 1 terahash, which is we call mining core. And mining core is 1 terahash work for 1 year. And the second product is also hash rate rental, which is 90 days. We call it mining card or stable mining card. And it's 90 days hash rate rental, which works for 90 days. And also we have the mining devices, which average lifetime of 4 years. So we classify our clients as short term, the one who want to see a return in 90 days. And also we have products for people who want to mine for a 1 year. Then, for pro Bitcoin people and people understand mining, then they go with that 4 years plans.
Is it a case of the user has to purchase up front and then they earn returns over time? Is that how it works?
Yes. So basically, when you sign up to our platform, because we are a subscription-based model platform, so that gives you access to the different products, as Rami mentioned. And so when you purchase a machine, usually you need to wait for the machine to be shipped and hosted into the location. But we try our best to have this machine activated as fast as possible. And if it's a rental, let's say a product that you have purchased, then you get the activation immediately.
I see. And why would someone want to take this route to get involved in the Bitcoin space rather than, let's say, just purchasing Bitcoin straight up?
So in general, like the Bitcoin mining, it's creating a portfolio for people. So definitely education, encourage people to understand the Bitcoin mining and the Bitcoin network itself. So doing mining is supporting the decentralized ecosystem. But from financial point of view as well, mining Bitcoin in long term is more profitable from buying Bitcoin. And mining Bitcoin also brings investment style, not trading style. Because when you buy a Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes up, we see majority of retail users, they sell their Bitcoin, they are outside the game. But when you are engaged in mining, you know that you are mining for a year or for 4 years. So you hold your investment, and that's the basic of Bitcoin. Because if you zoom out, you'll see the profitability, across 3-4 years, and the price bull run, for the Bitcoin, it accumulates when you take a long-term strategy. But normally, when you buy a Bitcoin, you engage in Bitcoin, you get in fast and you get out fast, and that's the norm for people not holding profits.
Okay, got it. So basically, a different way to invest in the
Yeah.
Bitcoin space.
Yes.
Nice.
We want to, let's say it's a better way to invest in the Bitcoin space.
Okay. Yeah. I'd love to go into the mining industry in general. There's been a lot of let's call it centralization of mining over the last few years. Big miners like Mara in the U.S. taking up more and more of the market share. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this process. Is it sustainable in the long term? Do you see the industry? How do you see it evolving?
Yeah, so this is very important question for us. So far our structural model we use, now we see more like decentralized pools on the Stratum V2 and others, which we are evaluating to put our also part of our hash rates and mining power into that. Definitely concentration of mining and concentration of mined Bitcoin holding, into corporate is a major threat, to the decentralization and the concept of the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is peer-to-peer, so it cannot be concentrated even the mining operations, because that also bring another risk, which Bitcoin mining should stay permissionless. We should not, when we have a concentration, also we add permissions, to whitelist and blacklist transaction in future with someone holding. So definitely concentration of mining is not really good for the industry. For us, we do that, in our business model, but we already started the plans, to transfer and to shift, towards decentralized pool as well. And we are also, through the conference, we are looking at more ideas how we can distribute this hash rate to more people at lower scale instead of concentrate, the heavy equipment and the big hash rates and mining farms. And this is in our agenda and our strategy, how we can shift that, within coming years.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So for your users, do you offer advice or services for them how to think about the volatility, also in relation to like the security of their self-custodial wallet?
Yeah. Well, for us, I think education is very important. So we're always, throughout the workshops and events that we organize and run as a company, we always try to educate our customer use base and educate the community, involved with us, that they don't need to just to look at the price of Bitcoin and they basically get scared when they see the price going up or down, because it's a very, very volatile market and everybody understands that. But you need to look at it from a long-term point of view. And if you get in today, you need to wait for a few years to see the real results and to really enjoy the benefits of owning that Bitcoin.
Got it. And so I know you've mentioned that the users will create a self-custodial wallet. Are you do you view self-custody as being like a really important to Bitcoin? I know there's been a growing sort of I'm calling it TradFi-ification of Bitcoin. More and more people holding custodial Bitcoin through ETFs. Just love to hear like your thoughts on how you think about that.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the core things which we try to push and rebalance the ecosystem, we call it, because Bitcoin is meant to be to do peer-to-peer transaction, peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And the more we concentrate and we replace, the blockchain and Bitcoin layer one network to do transactions in form of ETF, in form of shares, in any other form, we are not benefiting the miner anymore, because there is no transaction fees goes to the miner. And the more we shift towards that side, the more risk we bring to the core network principle. So definitely this is one of the major things. It's good because it brings strength and brings momentum to the Bitcoin when we see the institution adoption in this form, which is accessible for investor, but also it brings a long-term risk of Bitcoin, and we cannot continue that drift toward that side. So more we are encouraging everyone that self-custody is the freedom of Bitcoin. If you don't self-custody, you're depending on third party to give you approval to move your money, and this is not Bitcoin. Bitcoin meant to be available 24/7, available for transaction for everyone anywhere. So the moment we put more restriction and more layers to unlock, other markets, which is good, or unlock investors, which they cannot self-custody, is okay. But we think self-custody is very easy, and everyone holding Bitcoin should have, the freedom, accessibility to transfer and do whatever with his Bitcoins anytime. And that's actually crucial for all Bitcoin believers, because otherwise we'll have only passive believers who want only to trade Bitcoin. If we encourage self-custody for all levels, then we'll have active contributor to the Bitcoin network.
All right. Let's talk a little bit more about the long arc of Bitcoin mining. So, a lot of people say that, obviously as the halvings progress, mining rewards decrease over time. You also have some people will say, okay, well, eventually that'll be replaced by fees, like just through wider Bitcoin adoption. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Is the mining industry sustainable over decades?
Yes, I think mining will be sustainable over many decades, actually, for as long as we have the miners and we have Bitcoin to mine. And so you just need to know how to do it smartly, basically. You need to know how to bring in all the players together and agree on a methodology on how to make this profitable, because if you depend on yourself on doing it on your own without getting the right partners in place, I don't think that you will have, or you will enjoy as much profit as you're supposed to have.
All right. How about the peer-to-peer use case of Bitcoin? I mean, these days, most people have settled on Bitcoin as being a digital gold. Right? I'd love to hear your thoughts on can Bitcoin still be used for peer-to-peer transactions?
Yes. This is always I say example to explain this simpler. When you go to any, if you want to invest and buy any financial instrument, like commodity stock, shares, or whatever, you go to third parties to open an account. You cannot go to primary market, and then you can get your investment in. But if this investment or third party or broker disappear, then you don't have access to the primary market, So you need always to rely on third parties, and you cannot go and tell them like, I need the stock to self-custody the stock, because that's something not possible. I cannot get the commodity if I buy oil or gold. I cannot tell them physically I need it there, because you are buying on the primary market. On secondary market, then they are placing it to primary market, and the Bitcoin is only exception of this. If you look, if you buy ETF or you buy any, let's say, share in a company offer treasury company, Bitcoin treasury company, also you cannot, self-custody your Bitcoin. You have only 1-to-1 ratio protection. But if you buy it only Bitcoin, you buy it directly on chain, then you self-custody the asset. So it's the only asset which you can self-custody, and you can also do it on the primary market or on secondary market. And that makes this asset unique. So why we want to force a unique asset which offers decentralizations through a self-custody into a traditional financial system? Here is the question. I understand like that unlocks some more investors, gives confidence for people who doesn't know how to do it, and maybe treasuries or corporate who want to deal only with corporate, not to deal directly with the Bitcoin network. But still, that's the core thing that people they should know how to self-custody. And also when they do a portion of mining, they are protecting their investment. If you have millions in Bitcoin investment, you should also allocate, let's say, 5 or 10% to mining to make sure that you are supporting the network, which is protecting your 10 million investment. So that future thinking, for treasury companies or people only going passive in Bitcoin, they should also recover this, understand that participating in mining also protects your Bitcoin, either it's, a treasury company or it's, on chain or self-custody.
Okay, interesting perspective. If you don't mind, I've been asking all of our guests during this live stream a few sort of thoughts on the market, specifically 4-year cycle, dead or alive. I'd love to hear your comments on that.
I mean, from my own point of view, I think it's alive, and I think it will keep going. And we are very optimistic, let's say, of how Bitcoin will evolve and where it's going to head in the future.
Sorry, I may have. I maybe need to clarify. So, the for the last decade or so, Bitcoin's been going through these 4-year cycles,
Yes.
right? And some people are saying that maybe this time it's different. We're not going to the 4-year cycle is going to stop. We're not going to get as deep of a bear market as in previous cycles, perhaps due to there being a wider diversification of holders. What do you guys think about this? And there's a lot of fear right now in the Bitcoin world. Like, okay, we hit a high of 126,000. Now we're at 90,000, down like 25-30%. People are concerned that we're going deeper into a bear market. The current 4-year cycle is over, and we've got more pain coming. On the other hand, a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, this time it is different. We've broken out of the 4-year cycle." So yeah, I'd just love to hear your thoughts on this.
On price, I think the Bitcoin is building momentum. And this momentum always has correction. And I think what we saw is a correction, and a lot of liquidity went out. Not because of retail investors, sold their token, but because the big funds who drove the Bitcoin up from 80 to 126, the same funds, went out, which created a exception. Is not a pattern. It's outside the pattern to drop like 30 or 40K, in a month. It was scary a little bit, but what we believe that the Bitcoin always corrects itself. So we believe the cycles end always will be minimum double the beginning of the cycle. So if you take the 4 years halving cycle, we always the Bitcoin, doubled the price from the beginning to the end. So we don't think this is an exception. We think still the same pattern will continue, and we started at 80K. So could be 160, 170K is the target if the normal cycle continues.
Okay, nice. All right. Is there anything I've missed on Mining Grid that people should know? And if not, maybe looking ahead, like what excites you? What excites you most about like the next chapter for Mining Grid?
You have something, Rami, you want to add?
For the grid, excites us so many things. Like when we think of mining, it's only half of the Bitcoin remaining issuance will be mined in the next decade. So we try just to continue our mission and import more people, increase education and adoption across these countries, to get more people engaged and participate in the ecosystem.
Okay. And if people want to learn more about Mining Grid or get started, where should they go?
You want to answer that?
I mean, you can take a look at our website. You can also download our app, Mining Race, from Google Play or Apple, systems, and basically download the app, use our wallet. It's for free, and through that maybe you can also learn more about our products. And if you get a chance to mine, I think the easiest way is to do it through Mining Race.
Okay, great. Suleiman and Rami from Mining Grid, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your candid responses. Next up, we have got George Mikhail of Bitcoin Magazine. So we'll be right back with that. Stay tuned.